Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be talking about the curve, and I am going to be giving my own book recommendations that I've done research on. So basically I just looked through reviews and have seen what people have recommended and what people don't recommend, and I am going to recommend books that fit every person, if that makes any sense. I'll explain later in this video. So yeah, let's go on to explain what the curve is. Oh shit. Also, you guys, I'm a little sick, so this video is going to be really horrible. Mind you guys, in the next part, book recommendation part, I am going to be filming it in a few hours when I look a lot better, but you know, it's whatever. So in a SAT video made by the College Board, they gave an example about, you know, a student and another student. The first student got 20 questions right on the math part of the SAT and got a 1580, and the other person got 21 right and they also got a 1580. And you're like, how the hell did they get a 1580, the same exact score? Well, this is because of the curve. Now the College Board doesn't call it the curve, they say it's scaled, but it is technically a curve. But hypothetically, theoretically, don't sue me, College Board. So with tests, the SAT tests, for every month, the test is going to be a little different, a little harder or a little easier. By harder, easier, I don't mean mathematically harder, I mean statistically harder. What I mean by that is that they take a few months to look at the test and see what people have gotten right more. They consider that an easy question, and what people have gotten right less and don't, like, there are a few amount of people that get it right, though that question would be considered hard, right? But it isn't mathematically hard, it's just that people don't get it right usually. So there are obviously easier tests and harder tests. Now on an August, that could be an easier test for most people, and on an October test it would be harder, which, by the way, you want a harder test because it would just be a lot more in your favor. But moving on, so let's say that is, so how do you make those tests fair? Hence the curve. So let's say you got an easy test on an August and a hard test on October. What they do is, on the easy test, if you get a question wrong, even accidentally, like you plug in the wrong answer choice in the bubble sheet, that might even cost you 50 points. Yes, 50. So that's a lot. But on the hard test, if you get a question wrong, it'll be a lot more in your favor. Like you'll get 10 wrong, or 10 points wrong, or 10-point decrease. And you guys might ask yourself, like, how do they know which answers are easier or which answers are harder? I mean, questions. What they do is that after the test has been administered, they look at statistics, right? Like this one question, right? Do people get it wrong most of the time, or do people get it right most of the time? If people get it right most of the time, it's an easy question, and hence they're going to make it cost more points. So if you get it wrong, you'll lose more points because so many people got it right. Why didn't you? So that's basically what the curve is. And if you guys have any questions, leave it down below. And moving on to the book recommendations. On to the book recommendations. Finally, I am going to explain which book is best for what kind of person. Just buy the book that is perfect for you, okay? Just don't go all out and waste a lot of money and buy all these books. Okay, for math, I would probably recommend the 1600.io for beginners or for people who don't know the foundations of the SAT. What I mean by that is that students who have not excelled in Algebra 1, Algebra 2, or geometry, and you just don't feel like
you fully understand those topics, or you haven't taken them in a while and you completely forgot what they were, this book is for you. Actually, it's 2 books, but it's one in a way. It's an absolutely amazing book. They explain everything in complete detail because, again, it kind of is made to teach you and not to review. And I personally use the 1600.io book and I absolutely love it. And if you're intermediate, like you've taken Algebra 1, Algebra 2 geometry, and you've excelled in those or done fairly good on them, and you haven't completely forgotten them, like you still know the terms and stuff, all you need is a quick review, then I would recommend the College Panda. It's an absolutely amazing book. They review everything in a very nice way, and the questions prepare you for like a hard test. Like I mentioned, if you like when I explained the curve, it prepares you for a hard test, which I find very good. It's an amazing book. Everybody recommends College Panda. So yeah. Now, if you've already taken or if you've already done College Panda and you find like you need something harder, just not harder as in mathematically harder, I mean harder like you just need more practice, or you feel like something's missing, right? I would recommend is go through the College Panda book again if you have it, you know. But let's say you're just you don't feel like College Panda is your vibe for some reason, then Panda the SAT is a good option, but it wouldn't be my first option to give to people. College Panda would probably be my first option, and then 1600.io. College Panda, for me, I found a little confusing because I didn't even understand the foundations. Like I didn't know how to factor. So 1600.io is a very good book for that if you want to learn the foundations and like just everything, literally just everything, because it teaches you about absolutely everything you need to know for the SAT. And the College Panda just reviews everything that you already know, but you just need a quick review and like to relearn it in a way. It's a great book for that, and they have amazing questions. And they also have a separate book for practice tests, which I find very nice. It's a really, really good math book. The College Board practice tests are pretty good if you just want to practice, right? Those are really good. Those are like my number 1 recommendations. But the College Panda is just like extra math. If you don't feel that ready in math, it's a great option for you. Now moving on to English, I would probably recommend the Erica Meltzer book. It is my favorite, and I honestly really like it because I like the way she explains it. Now, when I've read reviews, everybody says like, oh, like she uses really hard. Like her style is a little boring, but mind you, I'm not really a reader, and I didn't mind her style too much, you know, because I already know the style. Like if you've ever read a textbook, it's kind of boring. It was kind of like that, but honestly, it didn't bother me. Like I still got what I needed from it. But it's a really good book because she takes like a problem, right, and she explains this problem and how to solve this problem, how to approach this problem, and then she moves on to another problem, tells you how to solve this problem, blah blah blah, for the reading. And I absolutely love it. So yeah, the 1600.io book does the same thing, which I love just because when I do approach a similar type question, I already know what to do. Like, you know what I mean? And it's very detailed, which I like. It's a long book, but I love it. Honestly, it's great for reading. And another tip for reading, you guys, is to literally just read books. If you don't want to go and buy Erica Meltzer or just a reading book, read a book, like an actual book, like a literary book, and read it, and you will improve in reading. You just need to practice reading. If you want to improve in reading, you got to practice reading. And now moving on to writing and language. Probably the College Panda book. It's a great book. Also is the Erica Meltzer book. I haven't read the Erica Meltzer book, but I did College Panda, and I liked College Panda. It was pretty good. It gave you what it needed. But the Erica Meltzer, again, if you like the style where, you know, they explain a question type and then they move on to another question type and go on, the College Panda book just kind of explains concepts like punctuation. It explains what punctuation is and then gives you a bunch of questions. And also the Erica Meltzer books, like at the beginning of the book, they give you like a little foundation skills thing test. I don't even know. Like basically they make sure that you have the foundations down for this book, which I really love. So that's one thing to take into consideration when you do buy the books. If you are in between two books, to basically get on Amazon or wherever and look at previews and read the book and actually solve it and see which one you prefer, which book you prefer. Now, this book is kind of for anyone who is in a hurry and like you're gonna take tests in like 2 weeks and you're like, yeah, I can't buy all 3 books, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you kind of have to buy 3 books. But if you don't want to do that, or you don't have the resources to do so, but you want a book, then the black book would be great. Again, it's not my first recommendation just because it's just compact and a lot, and like it's almost unsettling to read. Like, I don't know, I've tried to read it, but I was like, ugh, like it's so much. It's just so much. But like, again, if you are in a hurry or you want to buy a book where it has math, reading, and writing, then the black book would be a great option for you. Look through a preview of the book and see if you like it or not. Anyways, guys, I keep forgetting to film an outro, but bye. Also subscribe and comment and like, yeah. This video is gonna take me forever to edit. I can already feel it in my bones.